This is the part I want to focus on, and then we're going to practice. See if what you know about these stages that he just mentions here as it relates to your own meditation practice. In the first state of rest is the sense of stopping, of giving up on what we have been doing or how we have been being. Isn't it true? Just the stopping is the beginning. In the second is the sense of slowly coming home, the physical journey into the body's uncoerced and unbullied self, as if trying to remember the way or even the destination itself, beginning to turn towards the body. In the third state is a sense of healing and self-forgiveness and of arrival. In the fourth, deep in the primal exchange of the breath, is the give and the take, the blessing and the being blessed, and the ability to delight in both. The fifth stage is a sense of absolute readiness and presence, a delight in and an anticipation of the world and all its forms, a sense of being the meeting itself, the space itself between inner and outer, and that receiving and responding occur in one spontaneous present moment. There we are. He uses the word movement. So we're going to practice that today. This is where all healing, all self-forgiveness, all primal exchange, listen to the words, absolute readiness, delight, anticipation of the world in all its forms, the receiving and the responding, all available here. Isn't that spectacular? That is by David White. If for whatever reason you would like a copy of that, that's one of my favorite writings by him and has been for many, many years. He wrote that somewhere in the last 5 or 7 years. Of course, can you tell that he is a meditator? How could you know this if you did not establish that space for yourself? Whether that was for you to contemplation, prayer, meditation, right? It would require that essential stillness, silence, and open space in order to find it. With that, I thought we would, here he is. He wrote this in 2015 from his book, Consolations. All right, I'll leave this here just because I believe the language is so stunning as we prepare to sit. And so get ready for sitting. I have everyone on mute. I will try, as I have always committed, to let whoever comes in a little bit late if you do in. But I want to help us get to the practice, because really to read about it, however beautiful and however true, is not as valuable as actually being it. And so we'll begin with his instructions for just a moment to pause. Now, this doesn't mean hold the breath. It means simply to do and be nothing, allowing the emptiness, allowing the release, allowing the lessening, we could say, the requirement for having to be or do anything. Create that space here for yourself as you sit or lie. And then in David's instruction, he says, and then we begin to incline the mind, the Buddha says the same, towards awareness of this body as our primary object of attention. And so we begin in a somewhat systematic way, grounding the awakened heart mind here into the body, by feeling into the breath in, breathing in deeply, or however natural for you. And with the out breath, breathing out and beginning to settle the mind in the body, moving down the body into the feet, the legs, the hips. We're seeing here if we can't make contact, true arriving to this moment of groundedness. There is no thoughts you hear. We let all thoughts pass as a river running downstream, as a cloud passing in that vast open sky, as that feather being blown by in that beautiful wind. Nothing to grab or keep. Simply noticing its movement and coming back to anchor here. Ground oneself and one's attention in the base of the body. Where can you feel it? Where's the connection most available for you in that grounding? The base of the feet, the legs and hips in contact with the chair, maybe that felt sense of weightedness as we release the breath to join the earth. With each out breath, see now if you can begin to feel that sense of rest. That sense of arrival. There's nothing to struggle with here. We don't have to pick up the thought, and we don't have to stop it. We simply bring the attention to what is most important, that sense of groundedness, inviting the mind to the body to the earth, in rest. Watch for the tendency to hold the breath, to force, to elongate, to fabricate the breath in any way. It's completely a waste of time and unnecessary. See if you can let go a little bit more just to let the breath breathe you. Become a curious and interested and a caring witness. Not the breather, but the breathed. In the midst of this tumultuous wind, there is still a place to rest, to come into silence and stillness, the space of refuge, safety, protection, the stillness of your own body-mind. The exchange between the inner and the outer stillness is the bridge of the breath. Doesn't matter what the body's doing. The stillness comes both from within and around you. All things move, but the movement does not disturb this essential quiet. Like the radical winds at the top of a mountain, blowing the trees, the leaves, the snow all about the mountain simply sits. It is not in distress, it is in rest. Completely and truly itself. Unified, whole. We have invited the pause. We have turned towards this stilled body mind. We then open to this arriving into this place of refuge, the eye of the storm, with all the winds whirling about. This cannot be disturbed, perturbed. There is no struggle. We simply settle back into the breath, letting the winds of the mind and the winds of the weathers around us move. But the awakened ones, they all bear the same characteristic. They all have an unmovable, unshakable, imperturbable mind. Grow the roots of the out-breath deep beyond the belly into the body as a whole, and then beyond the body into the earth. We are rested when we let things alone. We let the breath alone. We let the self be as it is. We let the thoughts alone, letting them come and go. They are not the focus of our attention. This settling, grounding breath. This stilled body. And the mind that knows it. This is our true refuge and home base. The stability of the body. The stability of the unmoving mind lets the breath itself come and go without disturbance. How do we let those external winds blow without disturbing, without perturbing the internal climate? We stay focused and rested here. One of the things that I most use when the mind is whirling is that open space at the end of the out breath before the in breath arrives. We can see there that there is no movement. There is only the still and open space. The mind of awareness resting effortlessly, infinitely there. And then the in breath arrives without disturbance. It simply abides within that still and silent space, like a pebble in that still forest pond. No movements, gentle ripple. And you notice that the forest pond reflects all things in their movements, but does not become distressed or disturbed or activated by them. remain still and silent, mirror-like. And if you notice that the attention is being caught or hooked by these self preoccupied thoughts, thoughts about the past, thoughts about the future, thoughts about the practice, evaluations, analytics, we can simply move beneath the surface of the water, deeper, dropping down into the quiet, into the stillness. Into that open space of awareness, deep, deep beneath the froth. If you're using the image of the mountain for stability, you can move deep beneath the earth's surface. See which works for you. We don't have to stay at the surface level of the mountain or of the ocean. We can move deep within, where the stillness and silence is always abiding. We rest in the exchange of the breath, the inner and the outer, the taking and the giving, the blessings and the blessed. And we delight in both, resting in the in-breath and the out-breath, and the wide open space in which they both arrive and pass. the ever-present reality of the refuge of the breath, the refuge of this still and silent space within and around you. Not caught in the dream. And now touching in consistently at the end of that out breath, resting there, seeing if you can not only feel the sense of that quietude, that open space at the end of the out breath, but see if you can bring it with you into the in breath, holding the in breath, creating space and room for the in breath, but not being disturbed by it. And then into the out breath. The in breath and the out breath become the tiny ripple. The gentle lap at the shore of that deep, still ocean of awareness. Making contact with this refuge every breath, remembering that it is always here. No matter the length or texture of the in breath, no matter the veracity of the out breath, stillness and silence abide within, between, and around the breath. We are that great mountain still within all conditions, or that vast ocean of awareness. Whatever its surface, still, solid, stable beneath. Always there. And now that we can feel contact with that silence, opening to sounds for a minute to practice, letting the sounds be that wave or that wind, letting it touch in and go. Silence remains imperturbable. There is a space within and beneath the winds, a space within your own awakened heart mind. You can always seek shelter there. No matter what happens on the surface of the mountain or in the space surrounding it, the mountain itself is unmoved. No matter the frothy wave, the winds at the surface of the ocean is deep and still and quiet just beneath. The forest trees and its tops move violently, but the base of the trunk and the roots are grounded and still. Even we seek shelter within a quiet space. If we can find that quiet within, we can find it around us. We can find the quiet in the open space we can breathe it in. It is always present. And then we rest. We soften the body. We remember that we are safe, that we are held in refuge of our own heart minds. And we breathe. We breathe it in and we breathe it out. Quieter and quieter. And as we rest, we can begin to open the still and silent space, which is boundless and infinite, to include others, offering not only ourselves but others refuge. We invite them in, offer them safety, protection, care, kindness, and compassion. They do not disturb the stillness and the silence. They just make the space bigger. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe and free from harm. May we all rest in ease and equanimity. May we remember our true nature, the still and silent space of open awareness, available inner and outer, above and below, all around. And we simply let the winds of change flow by. Undisturbed. And may this practice be of benefit. Remembering the refuge of our own body, our own breath, the capacities for stillness and silence within and around. Always available in the open space of awareness. And may we all be well. It is about 8:27. Perfect timing, of course. I hope that this practice helped you remember that there is always that place to rest, right here, always within you and around you. And begin wherever you can. If it doesn't feel like it's within because the narrating thoughts are too large, find that open, still space around you, like that vast ocean. And when you can be like that mountain, still, silent, unmoving, resting in the bridge of the breath. I hope this was helpful for you this evening. Thank you so much for playing with me with the poll. I've already got some deepened wisdom around how best we might find to work with that. We'll see what's possible there. I will be teaching tomorrow morning, chapter 2 of Real Change, called Agency, very big chapter, a chapter on how do we then take movement from that place of rest into influencing, interacting, exchanging with the world. And we must remember that this is our calling also, not just rest, but rest in the service of that exchange. And so we'll be talking about the other side of that tomorrow morning. I'm going to look here at chat just to make sure we haven't left anything undone. You're so welcome, everyone. Wonderful. Good to see that you were here, Carol. Copies, sure. Wonderful. Yeah, it's a really great writing. I really enjoy that particular piece by David White also. Looks like most of you want it, so I'll send it to as many of you as I can. Yes, the coming home to this essential refuge of our own being. There is no greater or more available than this. I hope that it will be of benefit to you this evening. I know that if it is of any benefit to you, it will be of benefit to others. So thank you all once again for being here. Enjoy the rest of your blustery evening. Don't let the winds scare you. There is always that place of refuge within. Be well, everyone. Love to you. Have a good rest of the evening.